Unpacking and checking. Unpacking the battery module. Open the packing box and take out the battery module and accessories. Check the accessory. Check that if there is missing item or any distortion or impaired during transportation. Unpacking the BMC controller. Open the packing box and take out the BMC controller and accessories. Check the accessory. Check that if there is missing item or any distortion or impaired during transportation. Disassembly the BMC controller and bottom case. Unpacking the combiner box. Open the packing box and take out the combiner box and accessories. Check the accessory. Check that if there is missing item or any distortion or impaired during transportation. Installation tools. The hybrid system installation requires the following tools. Installation. Mounting. Put the installed base and feet along the wall and keep the distance of 20 millimeters between the wall and the base. According to the site environment, this height can be adjusted by the user. Allow marking off the plate with the upper surface of the base. Mark the position of the 6 holes on the cardboard. Remove the marking off plate drill holes 510 driller carefully. Make sure the holes are deep enough, at least 45 millimeters for installing, and tighten the expansion tubes. Install the expansion tubes in the holes and tighten them. Using the expansion screws in the screw package to install the battery module and BMC controller's wall bracket. Installation of battery modules and BMC controller. Take out a battery module from the package. Hang the module on the bracket. Pull the latches on the left and right sides and put one battery module on the base. Pay attention to the direction of the module. Continue to measure to ensure that the distance between the battery module and the wall is 20 millimeters. Repeat the operations for other battery modules. Put the BMC controller on top of the battery set. Install the screws. Use the combiner box as a template to mark the position of the 2 holes. Drill holes with F10 driller carefully. Make sure the holes are deep enough, at least 45 millimeters for installing, and tighten the expansion tubes. Install the expansion tubes in the holes and tighten them. Electrical connections. Preparation. Make the battery positive electrode cable, the red wire between inverter and BMC controller. Prepare the tin-plated cables with a conductor cross-section of 4 to 6 square millimeters. AWG 10. Separating connector. Use a suitable stripping tool to strip 15 millimeters off the conductor. Carefully insert the stripped wire with twisted Litz wires all the way into the spring. The Litz wire's ends have to be visible in the spring. Close the spring. Make sure the spring is snapped when you hear a clicking sound. Push the insert into the sleeve. Tighten the cable gland to 2 Nm. If possible, use a suitable and calibrated torque wrench, size 15. Use an open jaw wrench, size 16, to hold the connector in place. The battery positive cable has been made successfully. Use the same method to make the battery cable, the black wire between inverter and BMC controller. Use the same method to make the battery cable, the black wire between BMC controller and the bottom battery module. Connect the power cables. Connect the power cables between battery modules. Connect the power cables between the battery module and the BMC controller. Connect the communication cables. Connect the communication cables between the battery modules. Connect the communication cable between the battery module and the BMC controller. Connect the PE cables. Preparation. Make the battery in cables between the combiner box and the battery module. Make battery positive cable. Use a suitable stripping tool to strip 10 to 18 millimeters off the conductor. Crimp pin contact by using crimping pliers. Connect the battery connector to the other side of the battery cable. Do the same way for making the battery negative cable, black cable. Make the battery out cables between the combiner box and the inverter. Electrical connections of the combiner box. Open the combiner box. Connect the power cables of the battery set in the in port of the combiner box. Remark, the combiner box has 5 in ports. The battery set can be connected to any of the in ports. Connect the battery positive cable, red cable, to terminal 1, and connect the battery negative cable, black cable, to terminal 2. Remark, the terminal 1 is the battery positive, the terminal 2 is the battery negative. Connect the second battery set to the combiner box in the same way. Connect the battery output cables to the combiner box out port. Put back the plastic protective covers and close the combiner box. Electrical connections between combiner box and battery sets and inverter. Connect the combiner battery in cable to INV port of battery set. Connect the battery out cables to the battery port of the inverter. ADD switch settings. Set the ADD switch of the master battery to 1010 and set the slave battery ADD switch to 0001. Below are the ADD switch settings for the inverter to connect to 1 to 5 battery sets. Communication connections. Connect the communication cable between the battery sets. Connect the community connection cable between the RS485 port of the master battery set and the RS485 port of the slave battery set. Connect the communication cable from the CAN port of the main battery set to the CAN port of the inverter. After all the wires are connected, install the battery covers. Install the BMC controller cover. N1 HV energy storage system. Parallel connection of battery sets. 2 battery sets is successfully installed.